All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I'm Sanjay Mattu. The headlines. India to host G20 Summit in 2022, the 75th year of independence, says Prime Minister Narendra Modi. G20 nations, except US, agree to implement the Paris Agreement on climate change. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa to be the chief guest at Republic Day celebrations next year. Government begins registration for drone operators in the country, and in the Men's Hockey World Cup, India to face Belgium in Bhubaneswar this evening. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that India will host the G20 Summit in 2022 when the country celebrates its 75 years of independence. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said, in 2022, India completes 75 years since independence, and he looks forward to welcoming the world to the G20 Summit in that special year. Mr. Modi invited leadership from across the world to come to India, the world's fastest growing large economy, and know its rich history and diversity and experience the warm Indian hospitality. The Prime Minister said he had requested Italy if it can host the summit in 2021 and allow India to host the G20 annual summit in 2022.
भारत की आजादी के 75 साल है और इसलिए हमने इटली से रिक्वेस्ट की थी कि अगर 21 के बजाय 22 अगर भारत को मिलता है, और मैं इटली का बहुत आभारी हूं कि उन्होंने हमारी रिक्वेस्ट को स्वीकार किया और इस प्रस्ताव को जब आपने सबके सामने रखा तो सबने भी इसको स्वीकार किया, इसलिए मैं बहुत आभारी हूं। और 2022 जबकि भारत की आजादी के 75 साल होंगे, एक बड़ा महत्वपूर्ण अवसर है। उस समय विश्व के सभी लीडरशिप भारत आए।
The Prime Minister has stressed the need for G20 countries to opt for reforms in the World Trade Organization. Mr. Modi has also asked the countries to implement the Hamburg Declaration, which demands firm action against terrorism. This was stated by India's G20 Sherpa Shaktikanta Das in Buenos Aires last night.
The Prime Minister has highlighted and stressed on the importance of the 9-point action plan to fight the problem of fugitive economic offenders. The Prime Minister also has highlighted initiative taken by India with regard to International Solar Alliance, and he has called upon all other parties which have not yet joined the International Solar Alliance to join that.
Our correspondent reports that the Prime Minister interacted with various world leaders on the sidelines of the summit.
Prime Minister also interacted with the President of European Commission and also the President of the European Union. The talks were on enhancing friendship between India and the EU and also on aspects relating to eliminate the menace of terrorism. He also held extensive discussions with the President of Argentina, Mauricio Macri, on strengthening bilateral relations and extended an invitation to him to visit India. He would be visiting India in February next year. Ways to deepen and diversify the India and France strategic partnership, particularly by enhancing trade and people-to-people ties, was discussed with the French President Emmanuel Macron. Mr. Modi exchanged views on the importance of multilateralism in a rapidly changing world and the need to strengthen cooperation to counter terrorism. Curtains came down on the G20 summit with growing economies calling for a thoughtful approach of the developed countries to effectively implement policies by putting people first. With Manas Pratim Sharma, Joy, reporting for AIR News from Buenos Aires, Argentina.
The Prime Minister has since left for New Delhi. G20 nations, except the United States, have agreed to implement the Paris Agreement on climate change. A communiqué adopted at a two-day G20 summit in Buenos Aires said while other nations backed the pact, the US reiterated its decision to withdraw from the Paris Agreement. US President Donald Trump had shocked the global community last year by bucking the consensus at his first G20 meet. Meanwhile, Brazilian President-elect Jair Bolsonaro also said he'll not sign any climate agreement that will damage the country's agribusiness sector. In the declaration, the G20 leaders also pledged to enhance their efforts to combat terrorist financing and money laundering. They urged the digital industry to work together to fight exploitation of the internet and social media for terrorist purposes. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa will be the chief guest at the 2019 Republic Day celebrations in New Delhi. In a series of tweets, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said, at a time when India is celebrating the 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi, it's our honor to welcome President Ramaphosa as the chief guest for the Republic Day celebrations. He said Mahatma Gandhi's close links with South Africa are well known. Mr. Modi also said that Mr. Ramaphosa's visit will further cement business and people-to-people ties between India and South Africa. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts. You can also log on to our website newsonair.nic.in. The Ministry of Civil Aviation has started the registration process for drone operators in the country. An official release said it's being done through a portal called Digital Sky Platform. In August this year, the government had announced civil aviation regulations to enable safe flying of remotely piloted aerial systems, popularly referred to as drones. Minister for Civil Aviation Suresh Prabhu said that drones are an industry of the future, and it's a matter of great pride for the country that we are now at the cutting edge of rulemaking in this industry. Mr. Sunil Arora will take over as the Chief Election Commissioner of India this morning. He'll succeed Mr. O.P. Rawat, who retires today. Mr. Arora was appointed as the Election Commissioner in September 2017. He'll have a nearly 2.5-year tenure as the Chief Election Commissioner, with the 2019 general elections to be conducted under his stewardship. Hectic campaigning is on for the assembly elections in Rajasthan and Telangana. Top leaders of different political parties are holding public meetings to woo the voters. In Rajasthan, senior BJP leaders including Rajnath Singh, Sushma Swaraj, Smriti Irani and Rajyavardhan Rathore are scheduled to hold rallies at various places in the state today. Chief Minister Vasundhara Raje will also address 6 public meetings today. Former Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot and State Congress President Sachin Pilot will address election rallies. Our correspondent reports that arrangements for the smooth conduct of polls are now complete.
Technical arrangements related to EVM and VVPAT machines for all assembly constituencies have also completed. Chief Election Officer Anand Kumar told AIR that more than 2 lakh EVM and VVPAT machines are being used for the polling. Officers have been given training several times to avoid technical problems at any level. Instructions have been issued to speedily resolve any technical problem at the time of polling. EVMs and VVPAT machines are being kept in a strong room at district level in tight security. Jitendra Dwivedi, AIR News, Jaipur.
In Telangana, BJP President Amit Shah, Party leader Nitin Gadkari, Congress leaders Ghulam Nabi Azad and Veerappa Moily are among the top campaigners. TDP President Chandrababu Naidu and Congress leaders will campaign jointly at some places today. We have a report.
Top leaders of all parties are leaving no place unfocused during the last few days of electioneering in Telangana. A day ahead of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's scheduled public meeting in Hyderabad, BJP President Amit Shah is taking up whirlwind campaign at 4 places in the state. Today, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath will campaign for party candidates in Tandur, Sangareddy, Medchal and Goshamahal. The Congress senior leader Jairam Ramesh will take up road shows in Warangal, whereas Veerappa Moily and Kapil Sibal also join the campaign at other places today. TRS Chief Chandrasekhar Rao will be addressing rallies in Nagar Karnool, Chevella, Patancheru and Hyderabad. Lakshmi, AIR News, Hyderabad.
Meanwhile, the police conducted searches last evening at the residences of close relatives of State Congress Working President Revanth Reddy, who is a candidate from Kodangal constituency. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj came down hard on her Pakistani counterpart Shah Mahmood Qureshi for his googly remarks. In a series of tweets, Mrs. Swaraj said, the Pakistan Foreign Minister's statement proves that Islamabad has no respect for Sikh sentiments. She said 2 union ministers, Harsimrat Kaur Badal and Hardeep Singh Puri, went to Kartarpur Sahib to offer prayers in the holy Gurudwara. Qureshi's remarks came a day after Mrs. Swaraj categorically ruled out the possibility of resumption of bilateral talks with Pakistan unless it stops cross-border terror activities against India. The Maldives government has strongly denied media reports about allowing an Indian military base in the country in exchange for financial help to pay foreign debt. Its foreign ministry, in a statement, has categorically refuted the claim as baseless and aimed at discrediting the efforts of the government to rebuild good relations with its neighbors and the rest of the international community. The statement came in the wake of a report last week that India was considering an offer of $1 billion of low-interest loans in exchange for a permanent military presence. On to sports now. In the Men's Hockey World Cup today, India will face Belgium at 7 p.m, while Canada will take on South Africa at 5 p.m. in Pool C matches in Bhubaneswar. Yesterday, in Pool D matches, Germany beat Pakistan by a solitary goal in a hard-fought match, while the Netherlands spanked a hapless Malaysia 7-0 in a lopsided opening encounter. In the ongoing 62nd National Shooting Championship in Thiruvananthapuram, Haryana's Adarsh Singh stunned statemate and Commonwealth Games gold medalist Anish Bhanwala 30-29 to clinch the men's 25-meter rapid-fire pistol title. Anish claimed the second spot with Olympic silver medalist Vijay Kumar grabbing the bronze medal with a score of 24. In Assam, at least 4 persons were injured in a blast inside a coach of a running train in Udalguri district last evening. Northeast Frontier Railway sources said the blast went off in the 4th coach from the engine in the Kamakhya-Dekargaon Express at around 7:30 p.m. The condition of one of the injured is stated to be serious. Police and railway officials have launched investigations into the incident. With women's safety in mind, Home Minister Rajnath Singh has launched a pan-India single number 112 under an emergency mobile app. He said it will have a special safety feature to get immediate assistance from police and volunteers. Launching the Emergency Response Support System, or ERSS, in Nagaland, Mr. Singh said a shout feature has been made available exclusively for women in the mobile app. It's connected to ERSS. And now, for a look at today's newspapers for some of the major stories, it's over to Subhadra Ramachandran.
Thank you, Sanjay. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's meetings with different world leaders on the sidelines of the G20 Summit in Buenos Aires gets front-page attention. On the trilateral meeting between India, Japan and the US, the statesman quotes the Prime Minister as saying, Indo-Pacific to be a region of prosperity. Writing about another trilateral meeting between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Chinese and Russian presidents, the Pioneer reports, Modi, Xi, Putin hold trilateral meeting, New Delhi calls for UN WTO reform. Drawing attention to the G20 Summit, the Financial Express writes, India proposes plan to tackle fugitive economic offenders, asks for denial of entry, safe havens to such offenders in 9-point agenda. Former Haryana Chief Minister Bhupinder Singh Hooda is in legal trouble, report the papers. The DNA observes CBI files charges against Hooda in AJL land case. Former CM flouted rules to give plot to Gandhi's linked firm. Congress President Rahul Gandhi's comments as he campaigns in poll-bound Rajasthan are prominently noticed on the front pages of most papers. The Hindustan Times quotes him as saying, UPA did 3 surgical strikes but didn't show off. In economic news, a drop in GST collection is prominently mentioned in all the papers. The Business Standard observes GST collection drops below 1 trillion rupees in November. If trend continues, shortfall in financial year 19 could be about 500 billion rupees. All the papers carry tributes to former US President George Herbert W. Bush, who passed away yesterday. In his obituary, the Hindustan Times describes the former president as the nice guy in American politics who always finished first. The Times of India sees him as a war hero who helped end the Cold War. And finally, we've heard of robots doing all kinds of things, but this? The Hindu reports a farmer's new friend, robot Tom in the field. Machines can deliver fertilizer to soil around roots and kill weeds. And with that, it's back to you, Sanjay.
Thank you, Subhadra. That was a look at today's newspapers for some of the major stories. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. India to host G20 Summit in 2022, the 75th year of independence, says Prime Minister Narendra Modi. G20 nations, except the United States, agree to implement the Paris Agreement on climate change. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa to be the chief guest at Republic Day celebrations next year. Government begins registration for drone operators in the country. And in Men's Hockey World Cup, India to face Belgium in Bhubaneswar this evening. And for details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.nic.in. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.